Sally Rooney doesn't describe feelings. She describes what the body does while having them. Marianne's hands move to her lap. Connell looks at the floor. Someone swallows. Someone's face changes in a way that's hard to name. Critics call this cold, but they're missing what she's doing. Normal People is a love story between two people who cannot stop watching themselves. Connell and Marianne meet in secondary school in Sligo. She's wealthy and isolated. He's working class and well-liked. His mother cleans her family's house. They start sleeping together in secret, and for the rest of the book, across years and countries and other relationships, they keep circling back. The plot summary makes it sound like a romance. It isn't. Rooney is interested in something else entirely, the way class and shame make it impossible to simply be with another person. Every scene is blocked like a film. She tells you where everyone is standing, what their hands are doing, how the light falls. It reads like stage directions for your own emotions. Here's what people miss. Connell and Marianne aren't emotionally distant from each other. They're emotionally distant from themselves. They can't stop performing, even in private. Connell is so conscious of how others see him that he hides the relationship. Not because he's ashamed of Marianne, but because he can't imagine a self that isn't legible to his friends. Marianne learns to expect damage because her family taught her she deserved it. Neither of them knows how to want something without watching themselves want it. Rooney's prose enacts this. The famous flatness, the inventory of gestures. That's not authorial coldness. It's how Connell and Marianne actually experience their lives. They are always slightly outside the moment, observing. When Marianne feels something intense, the narration pulls back to describe the room. When Connell is overwhelmed, we get the exact position of his body. They can't sink into feeling because they never learned how. The class dynamics matter more than most readers acknowledge. Connell's shame isn't just adolescent insecurity. It's the specific shame of crossing a boundary he was never supposed to cross. Marianne's money doesn't protect her. It isolates her. They keep failing to save each other, not because they don't love each other, but because the systems that shaped them keep intervening. Every misunderstanding in the book is a failure of translation between two people who grew up speaking different languages of selfhood. The lack of quotation marks is part of this. Dialogue slides into thought, slides into narration. The boundaries are porous, which sounds literary but functions differently. It means we can never be quite sure what's said aloud and what's only felt. Connell and Marianne live in that uncertainty too. They're never sure what they've communicated and what they've only thought about communicating. The form mirrors the problem. By the end, they've figured something out. Not how to be together, but how to be themselves in each other's presence. The final scene isn't a resolution. Connell is leaving for New York and Marianne is staying. They'll be apart. But something has shifted. For once, they're not watching themselves. They're just two people in a room deciding what comes next. Rooney gets criticized for writing fiction that feels like it was designed to be adapted, and there's truth to that. But the precision isn't shallow. It's diagnostic. She writes like someone who understands that the crisis of her generation isn't a lack of feeling. It's the inability to stop observing the feeling. Normal People is a love story about two people trying to learn presence. The distance in the prose is the distance they're trying to close.